He was out there on the top of a roof building something, and it was hot, and the sun, the heat hit his head, and he just collapsed and died. And she never married again, and she was set up to sort of seduce Holofernes, which he was a general of the Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar, and she got him woozy, got him drunk and all that. And when he laid down, she had chopped his head off and put it in a basket and brought it back to the captains and the generals, the Israelites, the heads of Israel. And when they saw this guy's head, they put it up on the wall, and that gave him spirit to fight against this other nation. So when this Ammonite saw that, he saw the true power of Israel. He said, "Man, I want to become an Israelite too. I want to keep the laws, circumcise myself." But it doesn't mean that he is going to receive the blessings, because even Antiochus Epiphanes, that wicked root, when the Most High gave him that sore disease, guess what he started doing? He started praising the Most High and asking for forgiveness. Did the Most High turn around and forgive him? No. Why? Because he was of another nation. Now, when you read the history of the accounts of David and the different kings, we had good dealings with these other nations because we dealt with trade. But they didn't receive any of our blessings. So let me read the 10th verse. So you don't have to read the story. I just gave you the story in a nutshell. But if you find in your leisure, which by the way, leisure doesn't mean to lay back and watch TV. Leisure means from the word ledger, which means to read. Anyway, it says in Yehowadah chapter 14, verse 10, it says, "And when Achior the Ammonite had seen all that the Most High of Israel had done, he believed in the Most High greatly." Why did he believe in the Most High greatly? Out of fear. "And circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and was joined unto the house of Israel unto this day." Well, guess what? He got old and he died. So now when he comes back in the kingdom, he's going to be a slave. He's going to be an Ammonite that's under Israel. He's not going to receive the blessings. See, ultimately, the nations are going to receive blessings because they're going to learn the law, statutes, and commandments, and they're going to be placed in their land, and we're going to judge over them. Any situation come up with other nations, we're going to judge the matter. But they're going to be under us forever, and they're going to do what we tell them to do. It tells you in Isaiah the 60th chapter that they're going to bring in the forces of the Gentiles. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 49, Isaiah 61. And some of the nations we're not going to be too hard on, but others we're going to be hard on, like the Edomites. We're going to be hard on them because of their wickedness. So now let's come back to, like I said, I didn't want to, do this, but I said, let me go ahead and do it. So now let's listen on.
Of salvation. Now, Zechariah, the other prophets, foretold of a day when all nations would be joined unto the Lord. Zechariah chapter 12, 11, or even Mark chapter 11.
You notice he just lied. I caught his ass in a lie. because it doesn't say nothing. Let me let you listen to it again.
Same gift of salvation. Now, Zech and Hagar, and how do I know that's important? You might be saying, well, it's the seed that's important, but 1 Peter chapter 3 says how...
Now, if you understood Hagar and what she went through and the reason why she fled into the wilderness with her son Yashmai Allah, Ishmael, is because she was getting her ass beat every day by Sarah. Sarah was sticking her leg out. I'm not telling you word for word what exactly happened, but Sarah was not giving her dirty looks. When Hagar wasn't looking, she was throwing shit, popping her in the head, kicking her head. You know how you kick somebody in the back and they kind of trip down? Or she's walking by to serve food, and Sarah would stick her leg out and she would fall, then she would push it down, she'd threw food at her. Now, I'm not saying those events happened like I got in the time machine, but she was beating her, she was smacking the shit out of her, man. Because somebody giving you dirty looks is not going to make you run out into goddamn wilderness with a young child. And it was because of that hate of the fact that because a woman wants to have a child, the reason why Abraham went in unto Sarah's handmaiden, which is a slave, a woman slave, is because she couldn't bear children at that time, and the Most High opened up a womb, and that was all part of an act of faith. When you go into the whole history, what does the word Isaac mean? It's Yatazakak, which means laughter. When you read the account, when the Lord through the angels, it was the three men, it was the Lord and two of the angels, and when it was told to Abraham that he would have a child through Sarah, Sarah laughed within herself, and the angels the Lord and the angel were able to read her mind, and she laughed, and then she said, "Why did you laugh?" And then she said, "I didn't laugh," but she did laugh. She didn't know she was dealing with the power of the angels, which can read thoughts. So he said, because you laughed, you're going to call that son Laughter. That's his name. His name is going to be Laughter, which was an omen, a name sign so you can understand. So let's listen to some more.
Husbands, well, with your wives according to knowledge.
It ain't talking about concubines and slaves or secondary wives. You're going to deal with your wives one way with your Israelites, and you're going to deal with your concubines in a different way. And we are going to have concubines in the kingdom of the other nations.
Because they are fellow heirs of the same...
See how this black devil snuck that in? Because they are fellow heirs. No, they're not fellow heirs. They're heathen. The fellow heir
until this day. And we also see that Abraham married Keturah and Hagar. And how do I know that's...
He didn't marry them. He went into them to have children. All right. You can say, well, you can use the word wife because that's in Deuteronomy, 21 and 10. If you overtake another nation, you see a woman that you desire, you can take her and pop her and have children with her. There's accounts of great Israelites that had children with women of the other nations. Hagar was one of them. Keturah was another. Moses' wife, I can't, it's in Numbers 12. I can't even think of her name right now. But we were talking about it the other day. I I hate when that happens, but let me just bring it up. Bear me for a minute. Can't believe I forgot her name. Oh, Zipporah. I'm sorry. Zipporah. What she was Cushite, woman of another nation, looked like Israel, but she was of another nation. So let me go back over here again. You see how this clown
saw all that the God of Israel had done, believed in God greatly,